Hello, hello, hello.
Wealthy Wednesday. Good evening, good morning, depending on where you're located. Hope everybody's doing well and wealthy. Come one, come all. It's been a minute, but we back like we never left. You got double for the trouble tonight. Hey, this is a 2-for-1 package here. Hope everybody had an amazing day, and our goal is to make it even better by imparting wisdom, knowledge, and investing our time with you. And we thank you for investing your time with us. We're going to give it a few more minutes before we get started. Go tell a friend, send this link out. People need to know this information that's financial literacy. We perish from the lack of it. But here in the Wealth Lounge with BYOB, with Jay's Money Secret, with Tasa Desire, with Jay Joseph, you're going to hear about it. Let's invest.
Hello, 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 hello. All right.
All right. I hope everybody had an amazing day. Mine was amazing. It was productive, and I love being productive.
Absolutely.
Did you have a productive day today, Tasha?
I did. So let me say hello to everybody joining us. I hope you're all doing well. I had a very productive day today. Enjoyed it. So
Man. It ain't over. We have more work to do. It is not over.
all right, I'm here. Well, hello, Craig. How are you? Hello, hello.
I got Craig. Craig, I always be on the scene. I always want to learn something. Craig, I always trying to make all the money. Craig, stop being so greedy, Craig. Jeez. Hey, but hey, if it's out there for the getting, I say go get it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Good evening. Good evening. Wealthy Wednesday. I'm not sure if anybody says that or use that, but good evening. Wealthy Wednesday to everyone. If not, I'm gonna start saying it.
I say it all the time.
That's what's up. Wealthy Wednesday. I want a wealthy Tuesday. I want a wealthy Friday. A wealthy Saturday. A wealthy.
Sunday, Sunday fun day, money Monday. Like
Mm, that's a
I
good.
hear the chat. I did too. I can't even say it. I did too. USDJ, I did too.
Everybody is
Oh,
creating money. Money. I love it. I
he
love it,
can't wait
man.
for tonight. He can't wait for tonight. We're gonna talk about it tonight.
Yeah, yeah, man. Making money can become addictive, and it's um, even although you're making money, we got to make sure that we got to be good stewards because nothing is ours to keep, ours to own, only to manage. Right? We got to be a good steward of what we actually receive, and it's not all about the money; it's what the money can do for us, the people we love, and the people that we're called to serve. So let's not stop making it.
Mm-mm. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, ma'am. All right, 7:16. We'll probably give another what, two to four more minutes. The people go ahead and jump on, and then we'll go ahead and.
Yeah.
All right.
I know we hadn't had a call in a couple weeks, and well, while we waiting, I'm gonna say thank you for we did get hit by the hurricane. It was wasn't as it was in Georgia and on up, northern states, but we did have a little inconveniences here in Florida. So thank you guys for all the prayers, everybody who reached out. Just definitely want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for reaching out. Definitely want to thank you guys for that.
For sure,
We
man. And
appreciate
it makes me think about what this book I read before. Right, it has chapters in it. One of the chapters, well, one of the book names is called Ecclesiastes, and one of the chapters is chapter 11, verse 1 and 2. It tells me to spread my grain across the seas because one day it's going to come back to me. That sounds like an investment. When I park my money, my resources, my credit, my capital somewhere, one day it's going to come back to me, ideally greater than what I actually put out. But then it
it.
also
Right.
says specifically in the NIV version, invest and 7 yet 8 ventures because you never know the desolation of the land. Hurricanes can be a desolation of the land, right? How many people job was closed? And if I get paid on a per hour basis, I might not get paid with the hurricane when my job is closed. But guess what was open? The stock market was open. Was the forex market
Mm-hmm.
open, Tasha?
It was open.
Okay,
Oh,
so
it was open. It did not close. I didn't have any Wi-Fi to participate, but it was still open. I still saw those 777s when I came back. So
hey, hey, and that's the beautiful thing. We got to be able to make money no matter what happens in this world. This is why we continue giving insight, information, and knowledge to help individuals to be able not only to earn money but create money, but then also how to keep it, how to grow it, and then eventually how to transfer it over to the next generation. Because I heard a good man, a good woman leaves an inheritance to their children's children.
children's children.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So we want to thank you guys for your patience with us. You know, things come up, and thank you guys for being adaptable and adjustable to our schedule. But it's our guys to give you this knowledge and give you this information about wealth, about money building, creating multiple streams of income. This is a place you guys can get that information. You're getting it for free. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started in just a minute here. For all those that you know that need to plan for retirement, that needs to grow their money, that needs to have multiple streams of income,
Get
tell them this is the place to be.
them on. Get them on. Get them on. And hello, good evening, great evening, Desiree. I see you. And Craig said he's gonna see us in the first week of November.
You trying to pull up in Florida, man? Stay out of our city. Leave some of our money for us, Craig.
He gonna see us the first week of November.
Start buying some real estate for
Um,
Craig in town.
oh yeah, he coming. Oh look, let me just go ahead. He's coming to see that new grandbaby. So
Ooh, he goes to the West Coast, son. The
yeah,
West.
he coming to see that new
Uh,
grandbaby. So
Congratulations, Craig.
that's what.
Congratulations, congratulations. All right. Um, Speaking of congratulations, first of which, congratulate everyone for coming out tonight. Right, your time is valuable. It's your most valuable non-renewable resource. We appreciate you all investing it with us today, and we're going to make sure that you get a return on that tonight. That's going to happen two of which ways. Number one, there's the chat that we have. With the chat that you have, I want you guys to go ahead and put in any questions that you guys have about financial literacy, about investing, about retirement, about leveraging, about life insurance, anything that's going to help you increase your wealth, increase your income, help you protect and or transfer your income and your wealth, drop it in the chat. We're here for you all. Neither one of us like to work, but we're going to work for y'all, right? Because we're here to serve, right? Number two, we're going to continue like week to week, right? We're going to continue giving different financial literacy topics that we're talking about, right? We can come up with the topics. We can give you guys information all day, but we want to make sure it's information that you need and you need now to help you get to the next level, right? To help you maximize your return, maximize your time, maximize your money. So don't be afraid to ask for us to talk about specific topics. Don't be afraid to drop the questions inside the chat. And lastly, I want to say, right, faith without works is dead, right? God blesses our hands to obtain wealth. And this lady, Miss Dyer, she be putting in that work. She be putting in that work, right?
Hey.
She be putting that work, right? And I admire Tasha for her heart and how she wants to serve people. That's the people that I want to connect with. That's the people I want to build with. That's the people I want to have in my network, right? Because remember, your network determines your net worth. That is real key. We've heard it before, but let that soak in. Your network determines your net.
Absolutely.
Literally, the people operate on a certain vibrational, certain information. They seek to obtain new information. So you don't have to know it all. You can connect with someone and get all my information just like that. Or you can take years to actually acquire that. That costs you time. Now we have time value of money. Money that was not working for you because you're taking time to learn information, which I can just pick up a phone call and ask, hey, Tasha, what's this Forex thing? What's this USJPY? All right, how to make some money off of that? The benefits of a relationship, right? So with that, and when I say about working hard, we should always be investing in ourselves. That's our most and our greatest return we can ever see. And when I say investing in yourself, that's reading that book if you're a salesperson to sell more so you can create more money, to have more money to invest, right? That's taking parenting classes to learn how to be a better parent, right? That's having a mentor, whether it be a spiritual mentor or a business mentor, right? Investing in yourself to help you create more money, get more access to information, and get more access to people. And guess what Tasha did? She recently invested in herself, and she took her financial education, her financial literacy to the next level. And she obtained this thing called the 215, which is her life insurance, where she can sell life insurance, educate on life insurance, variable annuities. I want everybody to give Tasha a keyboard and a round of applause.
A keyboard round of applause. Look, thank you, thank you. That's no, thank
You're
you.
welcome, right? That's the kind of people you want to be connected with, right? As she continues to learn, guess what she's doing? She's bringing more value to the community. The more she learns, the more she can earn. And guess what? You all that's connected with her, guess what? The more you can earn as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
me and Tasha are partnering on a few things to bring you guys value on his weekly calls. But then some people's situations are different than others. Some people may be a W-2 employee, some may be retired, some may have their own business, some might invest in real estate, some might trade Forex, some may trade stocks. But for you, there's a financial and wealth plan that you need to have, and we're offering that information to you all, right? And we're going to set up to meet with you guys on a one-on-one basis, and you got to meet with you one person to give you guys information to help you build and talk about wealth. All right.
Absolutely.
So, yet again, congratulations, Tasha. Do you have anything you want to share to the people about your accomplishment that you just accomplished?
Thank you, thank you. So now this has always been my space. Like this is, the financial literacy space, educating, empowering, paying it forward. I feel like this thing keep freezing, so forgive me if it is. But this has always been my space, always been where my heart is at. And my heart is to serve. My heart is to pay it forward. And that's where it's at. I feel like I'm frozen. So Jay, send me a text or something. Am I frozen?
We can still hear you. So you
Okay,
keep
I think I
talking.
just came back. Huh?
Yeah, keep talking. You're frozen, but we can still hear you. That's key.
Okay, so at least I know you can hear me. Um, no, what I was saying is my heart has always been for people. My heart is always for empowering people. I have a background where that's not what I came from. I have a background where I grew up in poverty. I have a background where I grew up not knowing, wanting more, but not knowing how to get it. So for me, it's about putting myself in a position where I can always pay it forward, when I can help that next person, where I can help somebody, just kind of press forward. And so I feel great to not only to come back into this space where not only am I educating, but I'm also educating, right? Because both of us really about educating and helping you make those life decisions. But then I feel great to be partnered with the right person, with the right companies, doing the right things, because, I've known Jay for a while now, and I know what he's accomplished and I know what he's done. And so to just really, partner with him, but also be able to absorb his information and the leadership and the things that I know he's accomplished, to be able to absorb that, to be able to serve a greater audience. I'm excited about that. And I'm gonna pause because I see I might need to refresh.
Well, technically, you already paused. Thank you for your speech. Um, but with that, right? That just reiterates yet again, your network determines your net worth, and it's a pleasure and honor to serve with you, Tasha. Right? Because I don't know it all. Right? There's things I stay in my lane. What I do know. Right? And there's things that I learn and I can glean from everybody. Right? We all have value, and we want to bring that value to a centralized area, which can help everybody expedite their journey to building wealth. And remember what wealth looks like. I got information and knowledge that helps frees up my time, buys back my time, and I can afford the lifestyle that I deserve, and I can give to the people, to the missions that I'm called to give and do. A lot of times we're hindered because we don't have the money or the time to actually fulfill the purpose that we're set out to meet, because we're perished from a lack of knowledge, that we didn't learn about financial literacy at home, in schools, at our local religious organizations. But this is a community where we can learn about money, investing, wealth building. So tonight I wanted to pick a topic for us to talk about, maybe familiar to a lot of people. That's a traditional IRA account. Who knows what IRA stands for? What is a traditional IRA account? We hear about it a lot, but let's take an opportunity to talk more about it in detail, and then let's talk about ways we can actually leverage an IRA account to help us build and also create wealth. So, drop a chat. What does an IRA account stand for? Do you have an IRA account? All right, all right. Checking the chat. Who knows what IRA account stands for? I give everybody about 20 more seconds to see if anyone knows what an IRA account is, and then we're gonna go a little deeper into it. All right, good evening. We got Minnesota in the building. Okay, good evening, good evening. I got a friend that's flying out to Minnesota actually today. I don't know why, but all right. So IRA accounts. An IRA account is an individual. Ms. Brown came through. You got okay. I ain't even got to see it. It's an individual retirement account, right? A lot of times we have knowledge, which we know or learn about something, but do we have the understanding and the wisdom how to apply what we actually learn, right? And this is the key thing, right? This is what I want to help people. I like to bring the education, I like to bring the motivation, the instructions, how to apply this information, but it's an individual retirement account. Now, guess what? There's two types of individual retirement accounts, one of which is a traditional IRA, the other is a Roth IRA account. So now we got to identify what's the best for you. Everybody's situation is different. Ideally, I really feel that everyone should have a combination of both. Now, when we talk about a traditional IRA account, that's what we want to focus on tonight. And when we talk about a traditional IRA account, that particular account gives me a tax benefit immediately the year that I contribute into it. And when I say this year, right, that means December 31st. If I make a contribution into a traditional IRA account, that money that I contribute can be deducted from my income. So if I made $100,000 and I make a contribution of $6,000 for the year, I'm only going to get taxed on $93,000. That's an immediate tax savings. What's real unique too is that, Jay, what if I missed December 31st cutoff date and I did not make my contribution to December 30 on December 31st of this year? You have until you file your taxes the following year to make your contribution to your traditional IRA account, getting that tax benefit. Now you have to do it before you actually file your taxes because you're going to get that tax benefit that particular year. Now, some facts and other benefits about a traditional IRA account. You can have, it can only be in a single person's name. So that means your spouse and you both can have a traditional IRA account. Your traditional IRA account, the money that, i.e. the contributions you put inside of that account, that money can grow tax-free. So now you took the first step to open the account. You took the second step to contribute to that account. Now the third aspect is, how do I grow and make money in this account? There's three ways to make money inside of a traditional IRA account. You can actually earn dividends, you can earn interest, and you can actually have capital gains. But do you know how to invest that money inside of that account? Not to fear. That's why me and Tasha are here, right? We're here to give you that knowledge and that information. And the beautiful thing about it, the money that you actually grow and make inside your traditional IRA account, guess how much money you pay on taxes? You don't pay anything. You don't pay any capital gains tax basis on the money you actually accumulate and build inside that traditional IRA account. Now, with the traditional IRA account, most people have a standard brokerage account and they can only invest in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, CDs, stock options, all these things that you can actually buy inside of a preferred stock. These are the things you can buy inside a traditional IRA account. We're going to have another session. We're going to talk about a self-directed IRA account where you can actually use that account to do what? Buy tangible assets like real estate, gold, right? Invest in other businesses. So now we can be very creative with what we can do inside a traditional IRA account and not just the standard stocks, bonds, options, money markets, and CDs. Now, the traditional IRA account is a garage. Imagine going into a garage. Inside that garage, most people park or put what inside a garage? A car. But I also can have my basketball. I can have my tools. I can also have paint. I can have the 2x4s. So it's a holding place. Inside of that garage, I can bring options or assets inside of my traditional IRA account. So now we have to identify, our goal is to show you and educate you on what kind of investments and vehicles you'd have in a traditional IRA account. but somebody may be retiring and they need guaranteed income. You might want to consider an annuity. Someone might be younger and have the risk to take, and I didn't want to really grow this money aggressively. You might want to consider trading stock options, right? So this is why me and Tasha, as we partner together, we're going to be meeting with our clients together to identify, hey, this is what you need. This is going to be the best vehicle that you should have in your traditional IRA account, if a traditional IRA account makes sense for you. A lot of money contributing to a usage or tax liability for the year. So if I have a year and I got capital gains from, say, or trading or making money outside that I got to pay gains on, I can max out my contributions to an IRA account. And for this year in 2024, the maximum contribution, if you're 49 or younger, you can put up to $7,000 as a maximum contribution. Now, once you are actually 50 or older, now you can put away $8,000, which is called the extra $1,000, called a catch-up contribution. Yeah, catch-up, right? Okay, yeah, you're not frozen. We can see you now.
No, I'm here, but it keep going in and out. That's why I'm just like kind of sitting here. So it keep freezing on me.
Okay, all right. Desiree, people like you, Desiree, you be pulling stuff from me before I get to stuff, right? But we're gonna go there, right? We want to talk about traditional IRA accounts. Like once you put the money inside of it, right, your tax, but the money you save on taxes is your federal taxes, which is normally the biggest taxes you're going to get hit with from that standpoint, from money that's normally taken out of your paycheck. But an additional IRA account, you can make that contribution and you can benefit, right? There's brackets that, and or if you have an account with your employer. So that's why it's specific. But now I have the money inside the traditional IRA account. The money is growing tax-free. I'm less than 59 and a half or younger. If I take money out of my traditional IRA account, the money I take out that year add to my income and tax that my tax bracket. And there could be a 10% tax penalty. Can be. So there's exceptions that the IRS puts into place where we can take money out of a traditional IRA account and not pay the 10% tax penalty. One of which for healthcare costs, education costs, if I become disabled, right? Up to $10,000 on a first-time home purchase, right? Now they have something where you can take out $1,000 out of your IRA account for an emergency every year without paying taxes and penalties on it. Now, do we recommend that? No, right? But if I have a strategic investment opportunity that I need to take money out of my IRA account, then we may consider something like that. Now, the thing is, when you take money out of an IRA account, as you can see, there's penalties and or it can be taxes associated with it. Now, there's something called the 60-day rule. So when I take money out of my traditional IRA account, I have the ability to contribute some or all of that money that I took out back into that traditional IRA account, and then I pay $0 in taxes on that. I can do this, but I can only do it once every 12 months, right? I'll give you guys a true life example. I have a traditional IRA account, and a couple years ago, I took out $75,000, and I invested with a colleague. Yet again, your network determines your net worth. I gave him a check for $75,000. It was for to secure a real estate deal, and the money was anticipated to come back in about 35 days within my 60-day window. I made the money with my retirement money. I got the money back, and then I contributed and put the money back into my retirement account, and therefore I paid no taxes or penalties or fees. Traditional IRAs can be a great way to reduce tax liability, grow your money tax-free. But the problem, what I've noticed, like what me and Ty had a conversation about some time ago, but what I've noticed is that we front load and put too much money in tax deferred accounts. There's taxes and penalties to access this money. So I am charged to get access to my money. So you put too much money into these accounts, now I'm penalized for that. And then a lot of people, yeah, you're gonna be Uncle Sam, he's uncle, but he's gonna get his money, right? One way or another.
They're gonna get it.
So we don't want to front load and put too much of our wealth, our liquid assets, as we call it, into a traditional IRA account. because those that do not take money outside those IRA accounts, guess what? Now we have opportunity cost. Now I have my money into mutual funds or an investment vehicle that I'm really not sure it works. I'm getting the bare minimum returns. And if I had that $75,000 inside of my business that I'm growing, inside of the real estate that I do, inside of my Forex account that I'm trading, inside of my brokerage account that I'm trading, I can make way more money. So there's a lot of opportunity costs when we front load too much of our money into these tax deferred retirement accounts. When we look down the road, we have to be very tactical and strategic when it comes to building wealth and operating in our financial wealth plan. Because down the road, one day the seeds that we're contributing to these traditional IRA eventually is going to do what? Grow. And we like, man, we ain't paid no taxes on this harvest, no federal. Man, look, this thing is growing. Then when I start to take out money, I got to pay federal taxes on my capital gains and my contributions.
That's when Uncle Sam show back up.
I try to tell you, how do we divorce him? I'm still working on it. But literally, now money I've built on this harvest, I am now liable for taxes when I take it out of that account.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that when now so I can take this money out tax rate. Well, let's talk about that. When you retire, 9 times out of 10, your house will be paid off. Now you might not be getting a deduction from the interest that you're paying. Number 2, when you're retired and you no longer have any earned income, you can no longer make contributions to a traditional IRA account, so you're not getting that tax deduction anymore. Right? When we're 60, 65, or 70, we probably don't have any kids and dependents that we're claiming on our taxes. So that tax deduction is gone. Right? But the biggest thing of them all, the federal tax rate is what we're going to be paying on every dime that we take outside of that account. In the chat, get the Twitter fingers ready. What was the highest percentage that you're aware of or that you can guess the federal tax rate has been over the last 60 years?
Twitter fingers.
Hey, let's go. I need at least 2 percentages in the chat. How high have you think the federal tax rate has been over the last 60 years? And currently it's about 39 to 40% right now. Way to go, Desiree, having both. That's very, very tactical, man. In so many ways where that's going to help you in the short. We're going to break down and talk specifically about Roth IRAs and how we can use those together. Ooh.
I don't see an answer, Jay. I don't see an answer. I see questions. They're good questions.
Oh no. They coming. What percentage have you think the highest federal tax rate in over the last 60 years? 28%. Okay. So currently it's 39%. So we got about 28% that's the highest federal tax rate we think it's been over the last 20 years. Last 60 years. All right. We got 38%. All right. Come on, man. Desiree got them Twitter fingers.
Come on. I know I see more people on. Is Desiree the only one with the fingers, the Twitter fingers?
Hey. Well, Desiree gonna get everything she came for, right? Hey. That's what we're doing.
She coming with it.
Right, that's what we're doing, right? So let me go ahead and prolong and preserve this and help everybody out here. The highest federal tax rate has been over the last 60 years has been about 91%. So Jay, what you saying? If I make $100,000 for the year, I got to pay $91,000 of that to y'all Uncle Sam? Yeah, right? So now who says that the federal tax rate is going to be lower in the future? That's not guaranteed, because if you look at Biden and what Kamala were already putting into place, where they're trying to increase the capital gains rate and eventually the federal tax rate. Because why did Trump tax cuts actually expire next year? Right? So then what happens if we have too much of our money or all of our retirement assets, all of our liquid assets tied up in a traditional IRA account where we're going to be taxed and penalized? And that type of environment, that not
What? Yeah.
do. I said what I said, right? So now this is where people with perish from lack of knowledge. A lot of things we didn't know, or we don't actually put together. So imagine everyone that's front loading all this money into a traditional 401k, a traditional IRA, a thrift savings plan, a 403b, a 457, traditional IRA, a SEP IRA, a simple IRA. All these accounts offer a tax deferred growth, which is
Mhm.
dope, and I get a tax benefit. But now, what happens when I need to pull this money out? And you know why taxes were first created? To fund a war. I think we got a couple of wars
Mhm.
stuff going on, right? All right. So if we
Yeah.
really, I like that, right?
No,
And then,
I was just saying that's why she love a Roth, but I just wanted to interject that this is why the education is so important. This is why it's important to know, because we'll hear what's said on the front end. We'll hear what's said. It sounds real good when it's somebody else's money. It sounds real good that we need to, tax the income and everything else, because we don't really understand wealth, or we don't understand money, or we don't understand these things. We don't think they're talking about us. We think that the only people they're talking about are the Jeff Bezos of the world, or the people that we see on TV. That's not the only people. It's us who take the time to put things up, or take the time to, put money aside. So if it's a capital gain, it's a capital gain. If it's this, so the education, and I challenge everybody to always ask a second set of questions. There's always a second set of questions, good or bad, because it always sounds good when we hear it. It always sounds good when someone says something, but what's that next set of questions? Because that's why, based on what Jay just said, you got the what in the chat. Because yes, that is you they're talking about.
yeah, right. Go back to what I just said, right? Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 1 and 2,
Mhm.
right? You never know the desolations of the land, right? A great example is COVID-19. For everybody that had a restaurant is my only and my sole stream of income. And then now people cannot go out in public. And now that desolation called COVID has spread across the country. And then
Mhm.
now you're no longer making any income coming in,
Right.
right? And it's always plan for the worst and hope for the best. They were very strategic and very tactical, because this is information and knowledge, right? You guys gonna get some information, you're getting some understanding, but what you're gonna need is that wisdom, right? And that wisdom comes from having someone that's been there, done that, that does this, that can actually help guide you through what you're trying to accomplish, right? A lot of people say financial advisors, but it's deeper than financial advisors. And I don't want to go on that topic about financial advisors, but you need a
We're
guide.
gonna go down
Yeah,
the rabbit
listen, I'll be here 20 some days, but you just need a guide, an example. If you want to learn forex trading, I don't even know what forex stand for. How do I open an account? How do I fund the account? I can connect with someone that does, because I can go reading, I can learn, I can read a couple books, I can listen to 48 YouTube videos, I can do all this, and it's gonna take me a year or two probably to get started.
hoe.
What did I just cost myself? Time. What do I
Time.
what is it that I don't get back? Time.
Time.
But if I went to a guide, hey Tasha, I'm trying to trade forex. What's good? Hey, join this course, this information that I've labeled and put information in, and I'm about to save you time, right?
Time.
And then now what? Guess what else it can save me? Money, because of the losses that can occur from the lack of knowledge. So now it's saving me money and time. This is why we need a guide in everything that we seek to do. We need a
Mhm.
lot of people, they go to marriage counselors before they get married. A lot of people go to marriage counseling or counsel their marriage once they're married. That's a guide. A lot of people that have business, they have a guide. I trade stocks and options. That's one of the things that I do. I have a guide, right? Guide, mentor, however you want to say it. But yes, um, yes, and boy, Desi on it. She using words like fiduciary, right? And
Yes.
ideally, right, what we do, a fiduciary puts the interest of the client before their own profitable gains. A fiduciary is someone that's not going to actually get paid just from only selling you a product, but they're actually going to actually give you value and information, right? A wealth advisor, Craig, he said what he said. Right, all right. Wealth advisors. We ain't gonna get Craig on the horn. Craig is already wealthy, but But yes, so to get back to that, right? So the thing is, like, we perish from a lack of knowledge, and so many people are front loading these retirement accounts. And if you guys do research, look at the individual that created the 401ks. He specifically stated
Oh,
that people are using the 401ks for the wrong reasons. He wish he never
mm-hmm.
created it, right? Because
And
the
his
401, go ahead, girl, talk to me.
no, that's a touchy subject for me. That's touchy because so many people use that. It's an IRS code. Like it's it's a IRS code, and it's just like so he understood it and broke and understood the code. And he wrote the first 401k retirement plan, but it was supposed to be a supplement. It wasn't supposed to replace it. And people have been riding that. And when I met with people in the past and the people I sat down with, I cannot tell you how many people I've almost cried, hearing people talk about how they can't retire, how they can't, because that's all they had. That was their retirement plan. And that's when pensions went away. And you can look him up and he tells you that's not what it was meant to be. But yet you hear people all the time, oh, I got a 401k. Okay, but that's not all you need. How can you live off of that? You can't. You cannot. And so it's just heartbreaking that we'll stop there and we think that that's all we need. That's just
Absolutely.
I'm gonna give it back to you, Jay. I just, it's
Okay,
just
boom. Hot potato. There you go. And the guy name I believe is Ted Benna, Benna, right? But yet again, right? When we identify, Natasha said something key. She said pension plans went away, right? Pension plans are known as what we call defined benefits plan,
Mhm.
right? And the defined benefit plan was the company said, hey, you work for me all these years, I'm going to pay you out a certain amount of income perpetually for the rest of your life. And then, God forbid, when you pass, potentially we can pay out your spouse. Well, guess what? Guess who name starts with the T, ends with the A, can help you create your own pension? Because I heard that Social Security Trust Fund, keyword trust fund, is actually going to be underfunded by what? 2035. So let's take a look at what that really looks like. Social Security states that the people that are actually working are paying into this particular fund that's being invested, managed, and then is paying out people that are retiring. Right now, currently, we have the largest generation, i.e., baby boomers. So there is more baby boomers working than there are millennials working, and
Mhm.
these people are retiring by tens thousands a day, right? And then now they're starting to do what? Collect Social Security. Social Security may or may not be around in the future, right? The average Social Security payment right now is $1,300 a month. Imagine that if you had a budget of $1,300 a month, how far would that get you, right?
Nowhere.
Let's put some more sauce on top of that. I got Social Security, $1,300 a month, but hey, I do have my retirement account that I built and saved all this money up, and then
Mhm.
now I really need $50,000 a year. So now I have to supplement my income. I got to take about 30, 40 grand out of my retirement account in conjunction with my Social Security to have enough income. So now we got to identify how big is that 401k account? Did someone teach me how to invest and manage and grow that money? Number two, that particular account, when I take out that 30 to 40 grand, guess what happens? That's added to my federal tax rate for
Mhm.
the year. I got to pay taxes on all of that money. Hmm. Let's take it one step further. Now there's thresholds. If I have too much taxable income, now I'm starting to being taxed on my Social Security income.
Mhm.
Gee.
Yeah.
Right? Very, very interesting, right? And then now, if I got money inside of 401k, now I should, and I'm about to retire, I need this money for income. I'm in a wealth preservation phase. I need to be saving what I'm making. But what happens now? Oh, the port closed, Trump win the election, let's say, or COVID #2 strikes, and then the market drops drastically. But I am retired and I need to live off this income now. You need down action. Guess who can guide you through that, right? Because a lot
We
of
got
times
you.
we don't have a guide for that information, right? We don't know what we have, and we need to talk with someone that does help and that can guide us through that, right? So you want to make sure that your money is going to be preserved, especially with your if you're within a 5 year of needing that money. Number two, we want to make sure that you're not too tax deferred. Yeah, catch 22 unless you really understand it and have a plan in place to where, like, if you give us the bigger picture, oh, I see what you're trying to accomplish. Hey, right, this is what we need to do. Because tactfully, having money in a tax deferred account can be a great thing. Sometimes we have too
Mm-hmm.
much. And then the money inside of that account, is it actually growing and making me money? Or am I missing opportunities where I could have allocated this money to somewhere else? It all varies
Mm-hmm.
your situation, your time, your income, when you plan on retiring, and other factors that we kind of help you through the weeds to see to guide you through it. But traditional IRA accounts, ideally, they're just in a garage where I can hold many different type of investments. So I will educate you on identifying how to grow the money that's inside my traditional IRA account. There's another route how you can actually grow and make money in a traditional IRA account. That's when we're going to talk about self-directed accounts that gives you a broader range of asset classes you can invest into in that retirement account. Number three, right? Understand and learn how can I get money out of my retirement account without paying taxes or penalties and opportunities. Because if an opportunity came at your door right now and it's going to cost you taxes and penalties, but when I run the numbers, I'm going to make 10,000. It's going to cost me $2,000 in taxes and penalties, but I'm going to make 10,000. Where do I sign? Right, right. So now we have to, like, right. They say women lie, men can lie, but guess what? Numbers don't.
Don't
So
lie.
so yet again, I'm going to say this with caution. Don't be afraid to take money out of a pre-tax account for another opportunity, but understand the tax liability. Understand, guess what happens? The opportunity cost that happens if I take this money out of the account. So if I take this money out of the account, I can no longer make money inside this retirement account anymore. But this is my opportunity to make money here, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
why having information to help you maximize your money, right? Save and keep as much money as possible. Traditional IRA accounts, another key fact, make sure that you have a beneficiary on that account. A beneficiary would avoid this thing called probate. Therefore, you will not be, or your money will not be going through this probate process, and you got a court deciding who's going to get your assets. All right. And then that
That's the
process,
worst.
yeah, it's horrible, right? It takes time. And then it also what? It takes money. It's going to cost you money because there's legal fees, because improper preparation, right? And if you're a good man and good woman, remember they leave an inheritance to their children's children. And if you don't have beneficiaries on there, guess what? Who is going to be actually left behind too? Now, the key thing
Mm-hmm.
is that's a primary beneficiary. You can have multiple primary beneficiaries on your traditional IRA account. But in addition to your traditional and to a primary beneficiary, please, I beg you, have a contingent beneficiary. Because let's say, hey, me and Tasha, we married. We got a retirement account of $17 million. Think big, never think small, people. $17 million,
Gotta
right?
go.
$17 million. Now we about to go to Cabo, take this trip on a plane, and we both crashed. She was my primary beneficiary. Now I have no
Now,
beneficiaries on my account. But if I have a contingent beneficiary, guess what happens? Then the money goes over to that contingent beneficiary. But I would encourage you all to have a beneficiary that never dies, i.e., a trust. That would be for
trust.
another conversation. That would be for
Mm-hmm.
another conversation, right? So this is the information that you guys are going to get from us. Like, we have a passion for financial literacy. We have a passion to see you, right? Those that want to achieve the wealth at the 10%. We want to see you all win. So our job is to share our experiences, our knowledge, our connections, our information, our assets with you all to help you accomplish that goal. Because guess what? Two has greater reward for their labor. What happens with everybody on this call becomes multimillionaires, not just a millionaire, but multimillionaires. Guess what? We can actually acquire and buy together as group
Mm-hmm.
economics, right? This is very important, right? Everything we do has a greater meaning, a greater benefit behind it. But if we don't understand if we should be putting money in a traditional IRA account or not, right? We're not necessarily behind the ball, but we're uninformed, and we want to provide you with that information and get you in a position where you have time freedom and money freedom to pursue the purpose that is called
Absolutely.
on life, right? So
Absolutely.
that's most of the things about a traditional IRA account. That we really need to understand the basics of it, and then how can I actually leverage that, right? A little different from it's a little different from a 401k, right? There are different
Mm-hmm.
options, and all we want to present you with the information give you some strategy, some thought processes, and then really show you how it can benefit you in your specific situation, right? So, all right, we got Desi on the chat here. So, okay, I have no children. So earlier in life, I put an organization as beneficiary. If that's what you're saying. Oh, okay, that's a great question, right? So a beneficiary could be an organization, right? It could be an LLC. It can be a church. It can be a friend, a family member. But specifically, my organization, the best organization I want to contribute to is mine. And what do I mean by that, right? When I have a trust, it's an organization that I create. It has its own EIN number, its own entity, and then I put that as a beneficiary to my IRA account. I get to dictate exactly how, who, and when gets the access to use that money when I'm no longer here. That's my organization, right? Because I might not believe in what somebody else is doing. I'm not sure they're going to use that money as they should, but I get to dictate those actions in those terms of who, how, and when. And this is why it's important, right? We all should have this thing called a revocable living trust. Another term that, yet again,
We're gonna
Natasha.
talk about that. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it.
So if you guys don't want to miss out on the information, as the cool kids say, pull up right now every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Right? And unless something major comes up in the play, we want to communicate that. But our goal is to be here, be present, and also be impactful and powerful and informative. And then also utilize the Wealth Lounge, right? Jump into the app, right? Jump in there, ask questions, right? Make us work. Well, no, I don't make us work. I don't work. Let me rephrase that.
That's what we kind of said we was here for. That's
Uh,
that we kind of put that out there.
Let me say it sweet. Give us an opportunity to serve you, right?
That sounds better.
All right, gotcha. Ooh,
See, we're gonna talk about. That's a good question. That's a good question. A will is great. Is a trust is a little different. It's a little different. So
you,
we gonna take because it's 8 o'clock now. What we gonna do is we will spend an entire, next maybe that's next Wednesday we do that one. We come back and talk about that because I think that's a good topic where we're talking about the trust. We're talking about those things. That's quite a bit of the questions that's coming up. So the will, the trust, and all of that. And of course, if somebody's making an appointment already, so she should be on the books.
yeah, and yeah. So, and at the end of the day, the biggest thing about that is, like we set appointments, and when we set the appointments, you might get me and Tasha together. It might be one of us, but we work in tandem. And yet again, it's to serve you. But what does that look like when it comes to these appointments? The appointments is to literally, because right now we're information, but it's information that we need to know, right? Specifically, what is your goal? What are you, right? Desi mentioned, I got no kids. Financial plan is going to look slightly different from yours, right? So this is where we take the time out really to hear you, right? Majority of the conversations want to hear you. These calls, you guys are hearing us. Those conversations, we hear you, and then we take the information, the knowledge, the experience, the resources that we have, and we start crafting. Hey, Desi, if you want to get here, these are the strategic things you should consider doing right now. Because if you're telling me you're trying to retire next year and you got your money in 100% stocks, do you know the stock market is very volatile? Especially with now, that what's going to affect your ability to receive income. Or hey, what's safe for retirement and only contributing to your herd, right? These are some strategic ways of what you can consider, right? So we hear you, we understand goals. What's your pain point? What's your biggest financial concern, right? And we ask you if you have these things in order, and they are giving you that guidance to help you get to a point where you can use leverage, right? Leverage other people's time, other people's money and knowledge to achieve money freedom and time freedom, right? To pursue your purpose. Those are the specific goals. Like in our initial meetings, our initial calls, we going in like this for free, right? Because the goal is to give back, right? And that play is not about us. One thing for me, money. It's about serving people because I know where my covering comes from. But the more people I serve, the more people I help, the more I'm going to receive. All right.
And I'm gonna say this. She said, "Where were you at when I was 14?" I wish at 14 we were thinking like this. I wish at 14 I even considered any of this. This is not what my mind was at 14. So, Yeah, I think I was thinking about the club or something like that, but
You see what I was thinking about? But
that's another
listen,
that's another topic. But you know, the reality is that's why we're here, because
yeah,
we want to empower. We want to shift those mindsets. We want you to think, right? Because even today, just us being here today, the questions that's come through the chat has caused you to think. They've
yeah,
caused you to, when you think you have it all together, you think you have everything like lined up and you're perfect, you know, and you find out later you're not. You find out later when it's too late. Right now, it's not too late. Right now, we're presenting topics and information that you guys can just come back and we can make that shift. I won't call it a strange kid. I won't call you a strange kid. You know, I won't.
unique. In
is
fact,
a forward thinker. I'm gonna call you a forward thinker.
facts.
That I'm gonna call you that because more people needed to be like that.
Yeah,
More people
yeah,
needed to be on that level. And if they were, we wouldn't have half of the problems we have with financial, and so many
yeah.
people would need financial assistance or financial guidance if we were thinking like that and taught like that. So I won't call it strange. You were ahead of your time, which was phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah,
So
and that,
you don't have, go ahead.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
and no, no, you're doing good. I appreciate what you're saying because of yet again, all right. So at 14 years old, having a guide would have been saved you a lot of time, money, and headache. And when we really
Mhm.
understand like what money is, it says money answers all things, but it says we can't serve money, right, and serve God, right. So now we get to, well, how do I serve the money, right? Because money can be your master, right? These are principles, and we understand like majority of people are in jail or in prison because of money. I ain't got
Mhm.
enough. I gotta go rob somebody,
Yeah,
right?
we're
I'm finding
making decisions just the wrong ones.
like it's entwined in all aspects of our life. And remember, it answers all things. But on this note, not to belabor the point, I challenge everyone to do this, right? Right? Desi said, at 14, I wish I would have known this. So I want us to gather information and knowledge. You have a platform, you have people you can gather that information from. Go get someone that's 14 now, right?
Mhm.
Bless them with this knowledge and this information. Man, that doesn't even have to cost you any money to do, right? And that's how I like to operate. That's how I like to think about it. And this is where I really want to reach out and help, especially forwards. If you have not seen it, I enjoyed that movie. That was one of the concepts that actually happened. An older gentleman reached back out to a younger kid and helped change that kid's life. And in return, the gentleman didn't actually need money, but then that kid was a blessing to him. I don't want to give away the movie, but yeah, let's do that. So we're here. You guys know how to find us. You guys know how to connect with us. Right? Faith without works is dead. We're here to serve, maximize that. For me, until next week, let's invest. Tasha, what you got for the people? If anything else, oh no.
Like join. No, I'm just playing. Join the Wealth Lounge. Seriously, guys, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're tuned in from YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Wealth Lounge. You see it's at the bottom, mywealthlounge.com, right? Mywealthlounge.com. I just wanted you to know we'll be here, having these wolf talks. Everything we're doing is about empowerment. Every single thing we're doing about it is empowerment. And I know I'll be going live periodically throughout the week. We got some major changes, shifts, announcements, different things happening. But I'm just excited. You always want to make sure we're growing, partnering, and empowering, right? And that's what we want to do. And as Jay say, let's invest, right? And
Hey,
we here with these wealth talks. This is wealth Wednesday. We're gonna be here winning on Wednesday with these wealth talks. So that's all I have. That's all I got. So make
I
your
appreciate
appointment.
next time, friend.
You do not have to
I,
fly out. Make your appointment.
yeah,
I bet if you in Florida, because I know you come to Florida a lot, right? Haha. She talking about my pacing because she said I talk fast. She always telling me how fast I talk. Thank you. She monitors my pace. So, but yeah, if you're in Florida, I know you come to Florida a lot. So if you're here, we definitely can connect. All right. So
awesome,
that's all I
awesome.
got.
Let's invest.
And you're gonna have to end it.